Okay, so that was that one. And next question is, what is the hardest part of becoming a police officer? Before even the academy, just in general, like leading up to becoming a police officer, what would you say was the hardest part of that?
So I was rejected by at least 6 agencies that I applied to before getting picked up by Laverne. People learn that every agency is tailor-fitted to certain types of personalities. Mm-hmm. And if you don't fit that personality, they're probably not going to hire you. So it took me about 2 years applying to different agencies to finally get an entry-level job, which was real disheartening because, I had my bachelor's degree. I felt like it was going to be a shoo-in. I had prepared myself my entire life, and it still took 2 years. At the age of 18, 19, 20, you are so impatient that 2 years feels like forever. So every time I would go through the entire process, just end up 3rd or 4th and they don't hire you, or get rejected because you had one too many speeding tickets, or some agencies have requirements to where if your eyesight is in a certain percentage, like 20/20 or whatever, they won't even consider your application. Every agency is different. So the hardest part is definitely learning to deal with rejection and being motivated enough to say, hey, it's not going to stop me. I respect that you guys don't think I'm a good fit for you. Let me find an agency where I am a good fit. So you push through the disappointment. You don't let it get to you, even though it brings you down. But you learn to kind of keep going no matter what until you find that place that's suited for you.
Good stuff. That's a good one. Are you aware of the mental risks that come with a police officer? If so, how can you help counter those risks as a police officer?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the things that's becoming more and more prevalent within the law enforcement community is what they lightheartedly call forever sleep. Mm-hmm. So we deal with a lot, and if you're not prepared or you don't cope well with the stress and frustrations or the heartbreaks of the job, it kind of drives you insane, We have more and more officers that are taking their own lives for whatever reason, whether they are in financial trouble, whether they have disgraced themselves in their department and they don't want to go to jail, too many heartbreaks, too many pulling bodies out of wrecked cars and going to old people's houses and telling them that their kids died. They kind of lose themselves in the process. And so I know a lot of the mental health risks associated with this profession are, thoughts of suicide or self-harm, abuse of alcohol because you're trying to self-medicate. You think that police officers around you are going to judge you or think that you're not really a man or macho if you're going to seek help from a therapist or something.
About therapists, did the police officer, your department give you some type of help when it came to?
Yeah, so they have this I forget what it's called. It's peer crisis management or something like that. Mm-hmm. Anytime something happens, the department is really good about pulling everybody in, debriefing the situation, and calling in appropriate resources to make sure that everybody goes home okay. Mm-hmm. We had a call where a child was found basically drowned in a pool. The officers got there, they tried to save him. It was too late. This officer that was first on scene, he has kids around the same age, so he was devastated. So they called in our chaplain, which is basically a religious figure. Mm-hmm. They called in some therapists. They talked about it. Once he was deemed okay, he came back to work. So they never leave you out to dry. They never hang you out to dry. They take care of you really well because, like I said, people are becoming more and more open about the stigmas of the law enforcement going through mental health issues. So I think it's good. I think it's a good thing, especially for someone like me. I still got 25 to 30 years on that I got to work. Mm-hmm. Who knows what I'm going to be exposed to? Who knows what I'm going to see? And how many times, if I don't take that help, if I don't talk about it with someone, how long is it going to be till I lose my mind? I got kids to feed. I got, a family to live for. So I don't want to ever get to that point or anywhere close to that point. So I take advantage of all that stuff. If I ever feel like I need to talk to someone, I will. Even if it's not anything serious, even if it's just stuff at home that I'm dealing with, it's always good to talk to someone about it. So definitely mental health being one of the more notorious things about law enforcement, but people are identifying it sooner and they're actually dealing with it pretty well now. So I'm glad.
That's just, I did repeat number 10, but I do remember the question I was going to ask you. It was how do you fit time, or how do you manage time from work and family / hobbies, etc., in your personal life? How do you manage that?
Yeah, so it's tough, especially when you first start, because most people are programmed to be like a 9-to-5 kind of job. You wake up, take your kids to school, go to work, come back, eat dinner, go to sleep. Patrol is a whole different animal, man. You're working 12-hour shifts minimum. There are days where you're working 17, 18 hours straight, and then you go home, sleep for 3 hours, and come back and do the same thing. It's hard to manage your time initially because you're not used to it. It's something new to you that you have to adapt to, but once you adapt to it, you become pretty good at planning ahead. Family is always first to me, no matter what.
I feel the same.
And so if I ever feel like I'm not paying attention to my family the way I should be, hey, I know I'm going to be off next Thursday, next Friday, next Saturday, whatever. Let's do something. Let's go to the Grand Canyon. Let's go to the beach. Let's go spend quality time together. Not only does it strengthen my relationship with my kids and my family, but at the same time, it gives me that decompression aspect to it, to where I can just kind of not worry about work, not worry about my reports, not worry about what I saw that week, just kind of enjoy life and try to feel as normal as possible. So
you take advantage of the days where you don't have.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Spending.
Hobbies, too. I mean, I work out 5 to 6 times a week. If I don't work out, I just have way too much tension and energy. I love to lift heavy things, and so every day after work, I go straight to the gym for about an hour and a half, and then tire myself out to the point where I can go home, relax with my family, and then just take a good nap, come back and do it again. So some officers love work. Some officers would be all about work. We have guys that work 12-hour shifts, take a 2-hour nap, come back for 12 hours overtime, then go straight back to their shift, and then do a special assignment type of overtime. Some people live that kind of life. That's not me personally. But everybody's different, and that's kind of why they have such an assortment of personalities and all that stuff in the department, so that they can kind of keep it all running while at the same time letting everybody be their own person. You don't have to be this mindless drone reciting the same thing over and over. You can be your own person within a police department. So it's pretty great.
That just about answers it.
All right.